You worked for decades to build equity in your home. You made every payment. You maintained the property. Maybe you even paid it off. But here's a question most people never think to ask until it's too late. What actually happens to that home and all the equity in it when you're gone? I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, I want to talk about something that sits right at the intersection of real estate and estate planning, and why the decisions you make now can either protect your family or create a real mess for them later. Let's start with a simple scenario. A husband and wife own a home together. They've built up significant equity over the years. One of them passes away. The surviving spouse assumes everything, just transfers over automatically. And sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And the difference between those two outcomes almost always comes down to one thing: whether or not a proper living trust was in place and whether or not that home was actually titled inside that trust. Here's what a lot of families don't realize, and a living trust doesn't do you any good if your house was never put into it. That's what's called a funded trust versus an unfunded trust. One protects your family, the other gives you a false sense of security. No, I'm not an estate planning attorney. I don't even play one on TV. That's not what I do. But after more than 4 decades in mortgage business, I've sat across from enough families and enough trustees to tell you that real estate is almost always the most complicated asset to deal with when someone passes. Why? Because there are mortgages involved. There are titles to transfer. There are decisions about whether to keep the property, sell it, or refinance it. And those decisions have real financial consequences, especially when beneficiaries are waiting on distributions and a trustee is trying to figure out what to do with a piece of real estate that still has a loan on it. So what does this have to do with your mortgage strategy today? Everything. If you own a home, your home is likely your largest single asset. And if you haven't thought about how that asset flows to the people you love or how your mortgage fits into that picture, then your estate plan, even if you have one, may have some gaps in it. Here are a few things worth knowing. First, trust distributions are handled by the trustee, not a court, not a judge, not a government agency. The trustee follows the instructions in the trust document. If that document is clear, the process moves forward. If it's not clear, or if the home wasn't properly titled into the trust, things can get held up for months, sometimes longer. Second, the type of mortgage on a property matters when it comes to estate administration. A conventional mortgage, a reverse mortgage, a HELOC, they all have different rules about what happens when a borrower passes away. Your family shouldn't be learning those rules for the first time while they're grieving. And third, and this is important, having a strategy for your home equity while you're alive may actually make things simpler for your heirs. If your equity is sitting there doing nothing, that's a missed opportunity. If it's positioned well, it can support your retirement, protect your cash flow, and still transfer cleanly to your family when the time comes. I work with a group of trusted estate planning professionals who help families get this right, not generic online templates, actual attorney-guided plans that coordinate with your mortgage and your real estate. If you want to take the first step, go to rsrlinks.com/estate, rsrlinks.com/estate, and we'll connect you with the right people. And if you want to take a broader look at your overall financial picture, your mortgage, your equity, your cash flow, go to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That's rsrlinks.com/keysteps. Both links are there. You use both if you need to, because building wealth through real estate isn't just about buying the right home at the right rate. It's about making sure that wealth actually gets where you want it to go. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. Remember that the Home Select loan, the Wealth Builder loan, the all-in-one loan. It is the best loan on the market. Helps you pay off your loan by using your cash flow as opposed to just draining your cash flow. So make sure you go and get that one right away. GetHomeSelect.com. We talk about it all right in there.